What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. So this is problem 9-4 from lesson 9.1.1. We did this just this past Friday, and I know that I wanted to record this problem for you because we didn't have time to get to it. And so in this specific question, Megan, I don't know, built a shape with blocks and then drew the views shown below. So these are the front, right, and top views specifically. And so we're asking you guys to build Megan's shape, or Megan, I'm going to say Megan, in the 3D view at right, use as few blocks as possible. So this is the one of the more important statements when you guys are making your own shape. You need to use as few blocks as possible because if you don't, like obviously we want to minimize what we're doing here. But also, if you add more blocks than necessary, your front and right view can get impacted. So the best way to start when you, especially if you're doing this with this E tool, start with the top view. So if you notice my mouse on the top view in the top left, so click there, and you can right now just start by putting blocks just like the top view, because no matter how much you stack it, I'm going to go back to the isometric view. No matter how much you stack or wherever you put it, if I go back to the top, it looks exactly the same. So you can always start with your top view and place at least one block on each of those squares that are shaded. But then the next question comes, okay, well, I need to make my front view look like this. That's the challenge here. And so if you notice in the top view, this bottom left-hand corner is missing. So you know for a fact that my block is not going to go here. Otherwise, it impacts the top view and it doesn't work. So it needs to go either here or here. So if I were to put it here, right? So if I were to put this here, so far this is what it looks like. And that's what I want. I want this. But I also need to have, on the right column here, I need to have it 3 blocks high. So there's a way that you can think about this. If I were to put this not here, but if I were to put this here, and then I go back to my front view, I have my 3 block high column, but if I go to my right, if you notice, this is what I want, that 3 column high in the middle. So that actually works here. Now, if I didn't do that and I had it over here on the front, it wouldn't work because my left column is only 2 blocks high. So that was actually the correct way to put it up like this. So now the real question is, okay, well, I need to have my front view have another block. So since I figured out that I can't put a block over here, I'm going to put it in the way back corner. So now let's see if this works. I'm going to go back to my front view. So now I got my 2, my 1, and my 3, so that's good. What about my right view? So I also have here, here, and here. So that's exactly what I wanted. And just to confirm again with the top view, nothing's changed. I still have the same exact view from when I first started. And so honestly, this is a very optimal setup. You might be wondering, okay, well, Mr. Chun, why can't I put it in one of these back 2 spaces here? And that's because, again, the front view, it has to have those 2 blocks in the left column. If I put it here, for example, it ends up being a staircase instead of this little hook, this J, and I don't want that. So I got to make sure that I put it specifically in that back corner. Otherwise, the shape will not work. And so this is what it looks like here. And so the next part's asking, what is the volume of Megan's shape? So again, we just count how many blocks there are. We know there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because of the top view. So part B. So we know we have at least 7 blocks from the top. And then we added this one, and this one. So that's another 3 blocks. So our total is 10 units cubed for the volume. Okay. But now it's asking, okay, can we draw a mat plan? And so I'm going to go ahead and make a little rectangle here. And it's always going to be a 3x3 grid if it's set up like this. And then from here and here. So remember to always make sure on the bottom of your mat plan, this is where the front is, and the right, if I can draw this correctly here, is over here. Oh, this is really sloppy. I'm sorry. So if I'm looking at the top, I'm going to rotate it actually just a little bit. So if I'm looking at the front view, I have one block here and one block here and 0 here. So I'm going to put 0 and then 1 and then 1. If I lift this up a little bit, I know that I have one block here, 0 in the middle, but then 3 blocks high on the right for the middle row here. So, oh, whoopsie, I have 1 block, 0 block, and 3 blocks. And then the last row in the back, I have 2 in the back left, 1, and then 1. So my mat plan on the top row is 2, 1, 1. And this is the correct mat plan for this specific shape. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Again, we try to do it with the least amount of blocks. Technically, if I really wanted to, I could add another block here. And that doesn't really change anything, because if you notice, so my isometric view is like this. My front view still has that J shape. My right view still has the 1, 3, and the 2. And my top is still the same. So that's what I'm saying when we want you to make a shape that uses the fewest amount of blocks possible. Okay? Because the same can apply for other situations too. I can put a block here and it still ends up being the same thing. So you could realistically have 2 more blocks into this whole setup, and it would still have the same front, right, and top views. So always make sure to try to have the most optimal, and that will help a lot. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Again, if you have any questions as we move forward with Chapter 9, let's save those questions for after we finish our Chapter 8 test. But hopefully this helps. Have a great day.